We cannot be friends. I've seen this trend on TikTok where people talk about, oh, these are reasons why you would not want to be friends with me. Well, I'm telling you in this video why I would not want to be friends with you. And listen, these are not shallow, weird ass reasons, not weird ass, just shallow reasons. These are reasons that are deeply rooted in deeply troubling behaviors that I've noticed in female friendships. So let's go. One, you infantilize yourself. My goodness, I've seen a lot of women who infantilize themselves in friendships, and quite frankly, I am over it. You know that thing some women do to their boyfriends where they would just suddenly act all moody because they want attention, and the guy would be chasing them up and down, be like, oh baby, what's up? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Some women bring that BS into their friendships, and quite frankly, I cannot deal. If you cannot have adult conversation about things, I am not your friend. I cannot be your friend. That's not even going to work. I cannot be friends with someone who cannot have adult conversations. Because why are you carrying face? Why you be acting all moody, having an attitude where you could just open your mouth and say, listen, you did this and that, you did XYZ, and I want us to address it. And I feel like the reason a lot of people don't even talk about, oh, you did this and that, is because that person actually did nothing. You are just an attention seeker. Quite frankly, I feel very strongly about this because it is one thing that I cannot tolerate in a friendship. I've been friends with someone that I used to live with. We used to be roommates, and we were cool. Like everything was all nice, sugar and spice, until one day she woke up in the morning and decided to have this attitude, and I was not having it. Needless to say, that was the end of the friendship because I don't think I ever even spoke to her again after that day. I never spoke to her again because there are certain attitudes that I simply cannot tolerate in friendships. Life is already so tough. Like people are dealing with actual real life BS. Like people are dealing with serious life issues. So I'm not going to willingly enter into a friendship and be dealing with your attitude. If you have an attitude or you like to behave in a childish manner, you want your friend to follow you up and down, start asking, oh, what's wrong? What did I do? Never. We can never be friends. One thing I've noticed is a lot of women say that they want friendships, but really they just want attention. And it's not a bad thing. Your friends should give you attention, right? But you shouldn't go through toxic means to court attention. I feel like a lot of women cannot thrive in non-toxic friendships. For some people, drama keeps them going. If you are a dramatic person, if you're someone who likes drama, everything has to be dramatic. You cannot just say, oh, listen, you did this, you did that, or I don't like that you did this, I don't like that you said this. We cannot be friends. Like nobody has time to be dealing with your nasty attitude. Definitely not me. So yeah, if you're the kind of person who infantilizes yourself, you cannot sit down to have mature conversations about things, we cannot be friends. We cannot be friends if you're a selfish person. My goodness, this is one challenge I would say that I've personally experienced in my adult female friendships. It's always people who want you to be their friend but are not really ready to be your friend. There are lots of women who will come to you and say, oh, I want to be your friend, but then what they actually want is for you to be their friend. They want you to show up for them, they want you to do things for them, they want you to be their friend in every sense of it, but they cannot do the same for you. I've had so many people come around me with that energy of, oh, I want to be friends with you. I think you have a very chill personality. And I'm always open. I'm always like, yeah, girl, let's do it. The more the merrier. But when they come into my life, it's like, you can't even do the simplest things for me. You cannot make yourself a little bit inconvenient for me. A lot of people cannot deal with the inconvenience that comes with having friends. You want your friends to go all out for you. Do you realize that it is not always convenient for these friends to go all out for you? These friends go all out for you and then you can't even reciprocate. A lot of women have issues, at least in my experience, a lot of women have issues with reciprocation. I've talked about how I used to be friends with someone that was always asking me for help, and I would always come through. And the one time that I needed her help, it was for something very tiny, something very little, something that, even a stranger could just randomly do for someone. And by the way, a stranger actually ended up doing that thing for me. And she just blatantly said she couldn't do it. I was shocked. I don't want to go into the story again because I've told the story many times. I don't even see the point. But the point is, I would not be friends with someone who is selfish. Some people are so selfish. Some women are so selfish that they like to talk only about themselves. Like everything has to be about them. The minute you start talking about yourself, they immediately zone out. Like you can just see the lights just go off in their eyes. Like when you're talking about something that has to do with them or a topic that they generally just love, or it's usually a topic about them because they love themselves, they will be so involved. When it's about them, they'll be chatty. Or when maybe you're exchanging voice notes with your friend and you're sending them, and it's about them, you still be sending the voice notes, like it will be so back to back voice note texting. But the minute you start talking about yourself, it's all crickets. You send them a voice note and they will reply you the next day, and then they will reply you with, like, say a 3-second voice note telling you, oh hey, yeah, it is well. I don't even know what to say. Sorry, now you'll be fine. Those kinds of friends, like, the least thing you can offer someone is emotional support. As a friend, the least thing you can offer your friend is emotional support, and you can't even offer your friend emotional support. So how are you even a friend? Selfish people. What about those people who are selfish with money? There are some people who just want to, and they don't have to be poor. This has nothing to do with not having money, because I don't want anybody to think this is a class thing. Never, God forbid. There are people who have money, but if they could take your money and add it to theirs, they don't mind. Like they would do it if they could. They never want to pay for anything. They never want to move their muscle when it comes to paying for stuff, when it comes to money. But they want to use all your money. You're so comfortable with your friend taking you out all the time, paying and paying for stuff. Like, even if you don't have as much money as this friend, you can decide to just, you know what, let me buy water, let me pay for our drinks while you pay for the food. Even if it's not something you can do every time, just do every now and then. Like, you're so comfortable with your friend giving you stuff all the time. Your friend will buy you this, buy you that, buy you this, buy you that, and then you can't even reciprocate. You can't say, oh, you know what, this friend has been so nice to me. When you get your salary, take a tiny percent out of that salary and get your friend something. A lot of people are so selfish. I'm telling you, if your friend is a giver, you should match her energy. And if you can't even match her energy, because let's be for real, we cannot match some people's energy. Like, I've gotten to a point in my life where I understand that there are some people whose energy I simply cannot match, and there are some people who simply cannot match my energy, because there are certain energy that I have I don't think anybody can keep up with, but I want to at least see you try. These people will not even move a muscle. This person is doing all the financial pulling all the financial weight in the friendship, and you cannot even say, listen, chill and relax, I got it this time. Selfish friends are a no-no. Or the kinds of friends who would never let you borrow their stuff but would want to borrow all of yours. You're not the kind of person that borrows people's stuff. I totally get it, because some people have that boundary set up where they don't borrow people's stuff. But if you don't borrow people's stuff, then you should not borrow stuff from people. If you can't give your stuff out, then you shouldn't expect that people give you their stuff. Like, I feel like one of the reasons a lot of friendships fail these days, a lot of adult female friendships fail these days, is that a lot of girls want to be divas in their friendship. Everyone is a diva in their own right. Do you understand? You can't be friends with someone and then you expect that they worship you. Some people are so selfish, even with compliments. What do you mean your friend is always complimenting you and you can't even compliment her? Some people are so weird that they think them telling you, oh my god, you look so beautiful, will take something from them. But it takes nothing from you. If your friend is the kind of person that lavishes you with compliments, you should be able to lavish her with compliments as well. These are things that they don't even require much energy, but a lot of people just find it very difficult to be good friends. And That's okay. Like if you don't want to be a good friend to another person, that's fine, good for you, right? But the thing is that they expect that you will be a good friend to them, and that is beyond ridiculous. And it all ties down to the fact that a lot of girls want to be, a lot of women want to be divas in their female friendships. You don't want to treat your friend as an equal. And I don't know where we got that thing off of. Like, a lot of people actually don't want to practice equality in their friendships. You want to be friends with someone and you want to have them treat you like an old diva, an old queen, while you do nothing and you just like treat them like they're normal people. And that's the issue with a lot of friendships, and that is where the selfishness comes in. You're so selfish, you want everything to be about you and nothing to be about your friend. Hell no. If you're a selfish person, you're a diva, we cannot be friends. Being selfish in a friendship is so not cool. Like there's so many women working out here thinking that they deserve good friendships, but they never want to do anything to water the friendships that they have. That is not how the world works. If you want, friendship is like a dance. In fact, any kind of relationship is like a dance. You move, the other person moves, and that's how you start dancing. Like if you want a situation where the other person will just be doing things for you and you will just be there receiving, taking it all in while doing nothing to reciprocate what you're getting, we cannot be friends. We cannot be friends if you don't think that friendships are a kind of relationships. Like I've seen so many women say this irritating thing, like, "Oh my god, I don't want friends who want me to be treating them like a boyfriend." And really, what they're talking about is that they just don't want friends who demand or require commitment. That's so weird. Friendship is a kind of relationship, literally. If you cannot demonstrate commitment and loyalty towards your friends, or you think that commitment and loyalty should only be reserved for your romantic partner, we cannot be friends. Please pack it up, wrap it up very fast because it's not even going to work around here. Friendships, in my opinion, are just as important as romantic relationships. I can only be friends with a woman who understands the importance of female friendships. If you think friendships are nothing to go by, or you think friendships are just like something you hold on to until you find the one, or you think friendships are not that deep, sorry, we cannot be friends, because I like it when me and my friends are locked in, and that's one of the reasons why I love my friends. Like I'm constantly always like, "Hi baby, like what you doing?" Because that's the kind of friendships that I want to have. Anything less than that, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying that I want to be friends with someone who is needy, or that I'm a needy friend who is like always bothering my friends. Obviously my friends have their lives, they have their lives, they have a whole life outside of me, outside of our friendship. They have their jobs, they have their romantic relationships, they have their families, they have rest time. I have all of these things as well, but the point is that doesn't take away the fact that my friendship is an aspect of my life, just as much as my romantic relationship is an aspect of my life, just as much as my job, my career is an aspect of my life. And quite frankly, to me, none is more important than the other. So if you're the kind of person that's like, "Oh, it's just friendship, it's not that deep," we cannot be friends. I'm sorry. I want to be very locked in with my friends, and I am very locked in with my friends, and I'm not taking anything less than that. Sorry. I absolutely love my friends. I absolutely believe that our relationship is just as important as any other relationship in my life. And if you can't relate to that, if you don't agree with that, bye. Bye for real. Because let me say that the worst thing you can do as a woman who is very much invested and committed to female friendships is to be friends with a woman who doesn't see female friendships as a big deal. Those kind of women that will be like, why is she always calling me? Am I a boyfriend? Like, or she just expects me to be like a boyfriend, or those kind of people. Those are the worst people you want to be friends with as a woman, because you will be miserable. I promise you that you'll be very miserable. It's always best for people to be friends with people who see friendships or define friendships in the way that they define friendships. Now, I'm not saying that our friendship should consume us. Like, I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with having a codependent friendship as well, because I've been in one of those and it was not pleasant. But I will say that it's important to be friends with people who value you as much as they value the other people in their lives, and value your friendship as much as they value the other relationships that they have. We cannot be friends if you don't fight or argue fair. Listen, some women are so toxic. I'm telling you this. Let's keep in mind that if you're friends with someone, as long as you're not the same person, you're always going to have one or two disagreements. Now, a disagreement doesn't mean a fight, it just means that you two don't agree on something, on a subject matter. But unfortunately, some women don't take this well. Like, you have your friend disagree with you, and the next day you're cursing her out, you're insulting her, you're asking for the gifts that you bought for her to be returned to you. You're using something that she told you against her. You're telling all your friends and lashing out and being all, what is that? What is that? You're bad mouthing your friends because of a little argument. Like, some people are just unable to handle disagreements, which is, and it's ironic because these are the same people that are usually able to handle these arguments and differences in other kinds of relationships that they are in. I mean, I don't think that you would disagree with your boss and then fly off the roof and start yelling at your boss and calling him names. But when it comes to your friendships, you and your girlfriend don't agree on something, and the next thing you're angry, you're yelling, you're being rude, you're being mean, you're being nasty because of an argument. No, like, don't do that. That is your friend. If someone cannot remember the good times you shared during arguments, then what is the point? I cannot be friends with someone who doesn't know how to fight fair. Like, I cannot. And I feel like, a lot of people don't really understand this, because I'm the kind of person that if I'm mad at my friend, yeah, I'm mad, like I'm really, really upset about something that they did. I'm the kind of person that will say, hello, you remember when you did this? Well, I didn't like that. Please don't do it again. It really hurts me. And that's it. And for some reasons, whenever I do this to people and I say, listen, I don't like what you did, blah, 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 they always don't take me seriously. They're always like, oh, whatever. And then they do it again. And when I cut them out, it's like, oh, what did I do to her? Well, you did what I said you did. But a lot of people don't get it, because they expect that if you're truly angry, you should start yelling at them and hissing and doing all of that stuff. Unless my friend has done something really despicable, I don't see any reason why I should yell at you or be very mean and rude and nasty. No, like, there is really nothing that I want to tell you in an angry tone that I cannot tell you in a very level-headed manner. A lot of people really need to learn emotional intelligence. You don't talk to people anyhow. You have to watch your tone. You have to watch your tone. Even when someone is saying something that you don't agree with, you should watch your tone. Even if you completely don't respect their beliefs, you should watch your tone. Unless, of course, you're ready to throw the friendship away. But if you're still interested in maintaining that friendship, then you should watch your tone and be respectful. Respect, I'm so big on respect, and that will lead me to my next point. I'm so big on respect. We cannot be friends if you're not respectful. A lot of people think that respect is just reserved for their romantic partners or their parents. And that is why being in a female friendship in 2026, it's kind of weird, because a lot of women don't know anything about friendships. Like, nobody taught us this thing. Nobody told you, oh, this is how you go about, friendships. But people will tell you, oh, in marriage, you should do this. In a romantic relationship, you should do that. But friendship has no rules, right? A lot of women think that they don't need to respect their friends. Why? I'm very big on respect. I cannot stay in any situation where I'm not respected. I quite frankly would rather not be in any kind of friendship than be with a friend who does not respect me. Whenever I want to be friends with someone, I always ask myself, can I respect this person? Do I respect their beliefs? Do I respect the things that they do? Do I respect them as a person? That's the thing, because a lot of people are friends with people they don't respect. You don't respect that your friend because of the person she's dating, or because of the kind of way that she dresses or lives her life. Like, if you can't be friends with someone like that, why not let it go? Why not let it go? And this is why a lot of people turn into frenemies, because they are friends with people that they don't genuinely respect, or they genuinely don't just believe that they should respect their friends. I'm very big on respect. I talk to my friends with so much respect, and I will not tolerate them talking to me with anything less than respect. You have to be respectful, you have to be kind. That's my thing. Be respectful. We cannot be friends if you do not have values that I respect. Personally, at some point in my life, I used to be this kind of person that was like, if I want to be your friend, you must agree with certain ideologies that I agree with. You must believe in the same sort of like spiritual and religious beliefs that I have. But I've come to a point in my life where I realize that the fact that someone agrees with me or that we believe in the same ideologies doesn't mean that they are going to be good friends to me. But at the same time, I got to a point in my life where I realized that that is not really what sustains a friendship. The same religious belief or lack of religious belief, or the same orientation, the same mindset isn't what actually keeps a friendship. There's so much more than that. There's so much more to friendship than similar ideologies and beliefs. So I started to sort of dump those ideas when it comes to friendships. I started to make friends based off of personality and all of those things. But it didn't take me long to realize that your ideologies and all of those things sometimes form your personality. So I'm currently in a place where when I want to be friends with someone, I consider their ideologies and the ideological similarities between us, and I also consider where their heart is at. Your heart has to be in the right place, but your head also has to be in the right place. Like, I want to make sure that we believe in the same things. Like I said earlier, I'm very big on respect. Like, I do not want to be friends with someone whose beliefs I don't respect. If I think that your belief is something that I just cannot get past, there is no need for us to be friends. And if I find that someone doesn't respect how I live my life, or they genuinely don't care for the things that I do, I will end my friendship with them for sure, because I'm so big on respect, and my friends have to respect me just like I have to respect them. There is no two way about it. We cannot be friends if you are an unkind person. I don't like unkind people. I cannot stand unkind people, so I can't even be friends with them. If you're the kind of person that you're just unkind, you make unkind comments about people, you make fun of people for having disabilities, you mock people for their complexion, you mock people for things that they have no control of, like their bodies, we cannot be friends. Like, there is no reason I'll have a friend and my friend will be body shaming somebody. Like, how? As how? Please, driver over, we are not going again. There is no reason for us to be friends if you cannot show people basic human decency. We cannot be friends if you maltreat your staff. We cannot be friends if you maltreat your children. We cannot be friends if you maltreat your younger siblings or just random people on the street who are not as privileged as you are. The way I see it, how you treat a beggar, how you treat people who are not as privileged, not as classed as you are, that is your true behavior. Because I don't expect you to treat me badly. I'm your friend, I'm your equal, I'm your peer, right? You might not treat me badly because some of you know that if you are around, you will find out. Obviously, you wouldn't want to try some kinds of BS with your friends. But when you're treating your staff badly, that is who you really are, because you're treating them in that way because you know that they have little to no choice and will tolerate your behavior or will tolerate your bad treatment. I don't think that a person is a good person because they treat people who are their peers nicely. We are your peers, of course you will treat us nicely. How do you treat your staff? How do you treat people who are beneath you? How do you treat people who are your subordinates? Those are the things that really matter at the end of the day. I cannot for the life of me be friends with an unkind person, someone who has nothing but unkind comments to make. Even if you're just making unkind comments in a celebrity's post, we cannot be friends, especially when the said celebrity has done nothing to you. You're joining a hate train against a celebrity. Like, we cannot be friends. We cannot be friends. I'm so intentional about being friends with people who are kind, people who use their words wisely and kindly, people who have nothing but beautiful things to say about people who have done nothing to wrong them or others. There is no reason to be unnecessarily negative, and if you're the kind of person who is just unnecessarily negative, we can't be friends. So those are the reasons why I would not be friends with you. Tell me which of these you agree with and which you disagree with in comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Bye guys.